Why is nobody talking about the part of this movie where Chioma said this?
I mean, you don't have to settle.
Chief Obiora is the one settling.
Chief Obiora is the one who is settling. Why would anybody say that about themselves? Why would you consider yourself the one who is being settled for? I know why. You can only say this when the other person has a lot of money, which is what this movie is about. At this point, let's all agree and be honest. This movie is not about love. This movie is about money, okay? It's about finding somebody who will spend money on you. That's what this movie is about, from the part 1 to the part 2. And by now, we can also all be honest that this movie should have been 1 hour, 27 minutes at most, okay? But it was 3 hours long because...
So you don't want to kiss me because I haven't brushed my teeth.
Brush.
40,000 naira. I'm rich. Hey.
With the amount of ad placements in this movie, they should have just shot the movie in a mall. They should have just gone to a mall and just shot everything in front of one shop and collected money from them. Because what? If you spend your money buying everything they advertise in them... Who's calling me? This person is called Subscribe. I don't know. Hello? Subscribe. Who is this? Is this Subscribe? Who is this? Are you called Subscribe?
My wife is calling me on video call. Where got my MTM? My that is very strong.
Alright, so Bam Bam, the beautiful body with big bum bum, is back for Love in Every Word Part 2. And this movie had 2 issues for me. The number 1 issue is the movie itself. We'll talk about it. And number 2 is the conversation around the movie and the response by the fans of the movie to people who had issues with the movie. And there's some hypocrisy going on that I don't like. That we'll talk about. So watch the video to the end or skip to this part. And the biggest problem with the movie is that it was too long for a very bad reason. And the main issue is the story just did not move for so much of the movie. Now, to understand this, we have to go back to part 1 of this movie. I really liked part 1 of Love in Every Word.
So now that you officially know that I'm single,
Yes.
what are you going to do about it?
Ah! You slapped me, you monkey!
Marry me.
I am going to marry you.
I made a video about it on my main channel. If you don't have a main channel, you can check that one out. I talk about different things about it. But I made a video about Love in Every Word Part 1 on that channel. Did really well. And aside a few hiccups here and there, the story ends, a couple of things. I really enjoyed that movie. I loved watching it. I think I watched it maybe once or twice or maybe 3 times. It's the only Nollywood movie I've watched multiple times aside Better Half. That scene with Chioma and Odogu at the door, that scene was my ringtone for a long time. Okay, I took that audio and made my ringtone for a long time.
Do you want to come inside?
Come inside. It will never get old to me. Oh my God. Odogu did not want to come inside because Odogu does not want to come inside just yet. And in the part 2, they continue that whole thing of them not wanting to have sex, but they're living together. Why would you live together if you don't want to have sex and they're kissing each other? And then, wow, that's a lot of self-control. Sleeping next to that's big bum bum and then not coming inside. And in the part 1, the story moved. Not just the scenes changing. The story actually moved. 2 different things. He met a girl and fell in love with the girl. The next day he bought the building to get her number, which is ridiculous, but that's the story. That's the scene that made the movie blow up, I think. They start talking after that. There's conflict because she likes him but doesn't like his
accent.
Eh? You say what? Because of his accent.
That was her big issue. Again, a few hiccups here and there. Her ex's story, the whole thing with her boss, all that stuff. A few, things that could have been placed better. But as rom-coms go, it was a nice, feel-good movie. The story went fast. We watched the whole thing and were satisfied. But in this movie, most of the scenes were not story-driven. They were brand-driven. Does that make sense? Like, the movie spent a lot of time trying to be like, I don't know how to explain this well. The first movie was so successful, and so now the Odogu and Achalugo has become a brand. And so now every scene in this part 2 was them showing us the brand Achalugo and Odogu and not the characters Achalugo and Odogu. Does that make sense? And so it felt like in many scenes they just wanted an opportunity to put 2 of them on camera so that they can say Odogu please and this person says Achalugo. Like most of the scenes were like that.
Odogu please. Odogu please.
And it's because now it's a brand. And so this movie is not like a story-driven movie. They're putting the brand in front of you, and it's evident in the fact that whenever they met, they had to sell you something. You understand what I'm saying? And that's fine. Many people were praising it, but at the end of the day, the story suffered, right? And it doesn't have to. Many movies do product placements and the story doesn't suffer. But in this case, it suffered. And before we continue, there's this particular thing that people say whenever they hear somebody else say what I'm saying, like criticizing the movie in this way. They say, oh, it's not that deep. It's just a movie. Why are people thinking too much? Just a movie. Just watch and enjoy. And that's my second issue with the movie. We'll get to that because it's not just a movie. It is that deep. Okay. And the people who say it's not that deep, they are being hypocrites, and we'll get to that. But as I was saying before, the movie was just a way to sell the brand. The very first scene in the movie, well, the first scene is her having a dream that Odogu is going to leave her. But after that, the first scene where the story starts is where they are outdooring their new perfume line called Odogu and Achalugu. There it is. I was confused at the beginning by the MC. Why is he standing behind over there? Is he afraid of the spotlight? Why is he hiding and looking into the camera a lot? Is he reading the lines?
A love that isn't a performance. It doesn't need a stage.
A love that isn't a performance and doesn't need a stage. Are we talking about the same guy who brought performers to come and get her number? The guy who brought dancers, people playing music, and bought an entire building just to get her number? That's not a performance and that's not a stage. Let's be serious. Bam bam, please. So over here in this scene, we learn that Chioma has not met Odogu's mom yet, and she wants to meet her because she's going to marry this guy, of course, because he's rich. But that hasn't happened yet because Odogu's mom has some issues with Chioma, his girl. Also, the mom is Patience Ozoko, so she's always going to have some issues. In this movie, Chioma is lucky that she wasn't evil. She should have been poisoned by now. Now, this is a nice setup for the story. Now, we have some conflicts going. They have to get married, but the mom is not happy with the girl. She hasn't even met the girl yet, but she's not happy with the girl. So, this is some conflict. Do you know how many scenes it takes before this story comes back? This story comes back again at the 30th minute mark. Now, it would have been okay if every scene in the middle was building up the story in some way, but it wasn't. Every scene in the middle was to sell stuff. We have this big spaghetti brand on a billboard. They come back, they mention them again at the end in the funniest way.
Gloria, bring the small seasoning cubes.
We find out that Bam Bam's perfume is out of stock because a Maven record artist called Boy Spice accepted a collaboration on his page for Chioma's speech, and then Don Jazzy saw it, and then the thing went crazy, and then many people are buying. Now these people are buying, right? They need delivery. So guess what? We have a placement for a logistics company called GIG Logistics. And when I watched the movie first, I didn't know that this was a brand. And so I was confused why the guy picked up the box and the helmet like that. And then I found out later that, oh, it's a brand. So he had to show the helmet and the thing to the camera that, hey, this box is showing their logo, but look at our helmet too. Is branded GIG Logistics. Can you see that we are doing GIG Logistics? And this is after Odogu offered to buy Chioma a logistics company so that the company can deliver the stuff because the stock is going really, really fast.
Maybe I should consider buying you a logistics company. We
then have this scene where they do the advert for the MTN MiFi. I don't know if the MiFi is working because there are no lights on. That's supposed to light up, or maybe it's different. I don't know. But he gets a phone call. The phone call comes through, meaning that his data is already on. But for some reason, he picks out the MiFi to turn it on, and so that the call will come through, or he will switch from the network that he's already using to the MiFi because the MiFi is strong. Anyway, I use MTN fiber, and I really like it, so I'm not mad at that. Okay, MTN, they're a little bit some way sometimes, but all in all, I've enjoyed the service so far, so that one is fine. And that was the biggest problem. The story was sacrificed for the ad placements in this movie because the ad placements were just too much, right? Because they could have done the ad placements in the story, like in the part one is like 1 hour, almost 2 hours long. There are many opportunities for ad placements. I don't think they were doing that kind of thing then. This movie is like one of the first movies to really do this ad placement thing, and I'm sure it will become a common thing in Nollywood YouTube for a long time, which is cool. It gives them a lot more money to be able to make more movies, better movies. But in this movie, there were just too many scenes with the ad placements, and so every single scene they had to do the Odogu and Achalugu thing. You had to say, Odogu please, and Achalugu, and they'll say something, and then they'll just compensate you the Lulu that you are watching the movie with, because many of the girls are watching this hoping for an Odogu in their life. If you don't believe me, check the comments of the movie itself. And so the movie was unnecessarily long, and if you think it's good, that's fine. I think that a lot of people are blinded by hype and they don't want to disagree, so they're like, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. I've seen people encouraging it, so like, you people should do more of this. It's either that or a lot of people don't know how stories should work, which I think is also the case. But as for that one, my expectations are not very high. But then the crowd that annoys me a little bit is that it's not that deep crowd, and we're about to talk about them now. The people who say, oh, it's just a movie, why are you people talking too much, just a movie, just watch it and enjoy it, why are you people expecting so much, blah 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 blah. You better not be honest with yourselves, and it's fine, we all do this, but let's all be honest with ourselves. It's not just a movie for a lot of you guys, and to prove that, I'm going to use this scene right here in this movie.
Now let's talk finances. I propose that I handle all domestic expenses.
I'll handle everything.
Chioma says she wants to contribute to the relationship, to the marriage financially. Odogu says, no. Just by existing, you are contributing.
Mba, baby, look, I need to contribute financially to this household.
Yeah, but baby, you are contributing already. You are contributing just by existing. You have already contributed.
This part got clipped and posted on the devil's favorite app, X. And the conversations, oh my God. I mean, on that app, everybody's mad. So it's just all kinds of nonsense. A lot of things were being said. But even Uzo himself joined the conversation talking about intentional man, something like that. And Chioma was also a woman of substance or something, so I can't remember the tweet, but something along those lines. But aside that, if you go to the comment section of the movie, there are so many comments like, may this intentional man locate me. If you're looking for a marriage like this comment. All the ladies who are looking for your Odogu, like this comment. And aside this movie, it's very, very common in YouTube movies, the comment section of YouTube movies, to see the moral lesson I got from this story is ... What I learned from this movie is ... This character is an evil person who betrayed their friend, and in this life, you should not betray your friend. You should be a good friend. Like, there's so many comments like this in so many of the YouTube movies. I watch a lot of them. I read a lot of the comments, so I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about too if you watch them and read the comments. There are people praying in the comment section of this movie. I haven't seen them yet, but a friend of mine told me, and I believe her. There are prayers in the comment section, okay? If you're one of those people who is writing moral lessons in the comments, but then when somebody criticizes the movie, you say it's not that deep, you're not following your own advice, okay? You're looking for a cheap way to silence people who have issues with the movie because your beloved Odogu and Achalugo cannot be touched. Let's be serious. And let's agree once and for all. Is it just a movie or not? It's not. If you know, and this is maybe like a deeper conversation, but if you know the role that media plays in this political world, you know that it's not just a movie, okay? Like, the media you consume, the media that is produced plays a huge role in the whole world that we live in, the whole political world. But that's another thing for another day. I'll have to talk about that completely separately. But stories are not just for fun. They exist for a reason. There's a reason we tell children stories to try and change their behavior. We tell them stories with moral lessons to try and shape their minds. It's not just a movie, guys. Not just entertainment, okay? None of it. And that doesn't mean you should always watch every single thing with eagle eyes. I do, but you don't have to. But let's not pretend that it is just a movie. Oh, it's just a movie. It's not that deep. Stop talking too much. It isn't. It's deeper than you want to admit. And this is my main point for this video. You can stop watching this video at this point and I'll be fine. I'll continue talking about the movie, but this is the main thing I wanted to say in this video. This is the main crowd I wanted to address. Let's stop this whole thing. Is it just a movie or not? I've said that multiple times. Anyway, if you're leaving now but you like what you're seeing, please subscribe, okay? If you don't like it, don't subscribe, okay? But like the video at least. If you don't want to do it, go away. What? Yeah. Hello. Subscribe. Alright, now let's talk about the story itself. There are two main stories, two main plot lines in this movie. One is Odogu's mom, the issue with Odogu's mom, and the second is Chioma's ex. Chioma's ex comes back into the story. We'll get to that. That story is a little bit weird. But the mom story finally comes back after there's so many adverts. And surprise, surprise, Odogu's mom does not like Chioma because she thinks Chioma is with him because of his money.
No woman dates a man like you without having an eye on his money.
Now, I wouldn't say she's with him because of money, but it's very evident that money is a huge part of this love story. Intentional man over here is just another name for a guy who intentionally spends a lot of money to get the woman. There's a scene in this movie where he took Chioma and her mom to a house. And apparently, this is a house that he started building a day after he met Chioma because he knew he was going to marry her. So he built a house.
started building this after the first day we met.
Yes. That was the day I knew. Naturally, I told you I was going to marry you now.
And so this is supposed to be an expression of love. And I'm just thinking, if what he bought was not a house or on the level of a house, would it be viewed the same way? I don't think so. I do not think so. If it was some kind of bracelet or something normal, it wouldn't be viewed by the viewers of the movie the same way it is viewed now, which is that he's an intentional man. Intentional man. A day after he met his girl, he started building a house already. That means he knew what he wanted. He's an intentional man. And God, please help me find my own intentional man. Help me find my own dog. These are the comments of the movie. These are the comments. And I'll tell you this, if you are looking for rich love, you are not looking for love, okay? You are looking for poverty alleviation. Or you are already rich and you want somebody who's on your level because you want to maintain your status, which makes sense to me.
I don't even have a problem with that. Women are wired to depend on men for money. It's just the pretense that irritates me.
But then I got confused a little bit because the mom went from, oh, she wants you for your money and tell her to focus on having children to everybody he brings is accepted. She said everybody Obiora brings is accepted.
And I even hear that Obiora is getting married.
At this point, anyone he brings is accepted.
What changed? What happened? But then this is good news for Chioma right now. The mom says anybody will be accepted. But the problem is Chioma is a bastard.
Even if the person is a bastard.
And this is somehow a huge issue for the family. And I can't speak on this. I was thinking, okay, maybe this is a cultural thing. Maybe this is part of the tribe. Maybe they have an issue with bastards. But then later on in the movie, one of the elders says that there's no issue with bastards. Like, they don't even recognize bastards in their culture. So why is that such a huge issue?
And with all humility, I must add, in our tradition, there are no bastards.
No, Chacha.
But it's a big issue for her nonetheless. And it's not until this point that the story starts moving a little bit. And even then, it's not very clear exactly why she doesn't want the girl in their lives, because she went from Chioma might be a gold digger to everybody's accepted to Chioma is a bastard, so we cannot let her get married. And then she finds out that the bastard thing is not a big deal from the elders. And then she's still like, no, I don't want her. So she blackmails all of the elders to agree with her to kick Chioma out of their lives.
I'm telling you, speak to Obiora. I return that list. And end this same now.
But anyway, Patience Ozokwo, so it's not very surprising. I mean, she has hated many good people for far less. She has done many bad things for less. So yeah, it's normal. So later on, Chioma breaks up with Odogwu because she doesn't want to break their family apart, and which I understand. You don't want to marry into a family where they don't like you. Okay, you can go and ask, what's that girl's name? The British girl, what's her name? Oh, I used to know her. I used to know her a lot when she was on Suits. So what's her name like? Meghan Markle. Yeah, she made that big mistake in real life. So yeah, you don't want to do that. But while the story is going on, they have these wedding planning scenes. Over here you can see the Coca-Cola endorsement. Those were the funniest scenes in the movie to me. Some of them made me laugh. Like the part where Odogwu suggests something and then they take it seriously.
Should I be worried that these people might want me to come down from an helicopter that looks like a lion?
At this point.
Fantastic! Fantastic idea!
And those scenes were largely driven by Ify and Chioma's mom. I think they did good. So after the breakup, Odogwu, who had a very strong passion to get his girl back and also do some very much needed ad placements for Ziba Beach Resort, manages to get Chioma and his mom together at this Ziba Beach Resort so that the mom will see that Chioma is a cool girl, and contrary to her belief, being a bastard is not a disease.
I need to force my mother to be in the same space as Chioma.
And as the script will have it, everything goes to plan. She gives up the last chicken thigh for the mom because Bam Bam has ties for this. She doesn't need extra ties. She meets her old boss from part 1 and stands up for her boss against this young guy who's a sugar boy. So Chioma comes to her rescue, and the mom just happens to be sitting down there when this whole thing is happening. So then later on, they have a conversation, and then the mom sees that, oh, this bastard is not a bastard after all. She is a bastard, but, you know, she's not a bastard in the insulting way after all. So the marriage comes on. And so this part is another one of the examples where an ad placement was forcefully fit into the story. Because if it's about getting them in the same room so that your mom will see that Chioma is not a bad person, then anywhere, anywhere would have worked. Like getting them in your house together would have made sense. If this was the solution, then in the heat of the drama, Odogu could have just set up a meeting for both of them in the house. He could have just said, hey, man, I want you to meet her and talk to her in the room. Normal. But Ziba Beach Resort had paid money, so the story had to go to Ziba Beach Resort. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, aside the marriage issues, there was another plot line that was introduced, which involved Chioma's ex, played by Chris Atto, our very own Chris Atto. And because this movie is about money for love, even if you don't agree, it's about money for love. Every single romantic gesture has to be a show of affluence. And so Chris Atto, before he appears, he sends some gifts to Chioma, and it has a poem. And when Chioma's partner starts reading the poem, she realizes that Odogu cannot write this English.
Your scent outlives the light of day. It clings to dreams that drift my way. I don't think this is from Mr. Obiora.
That scene was funny. That scene was very funny to me. So the ex, called Hassan, reveals himself that he's the one writing the poetry and stuff.
Surprise.
Look, I knew for a fact that if you knew that I was behind this, you never would have said yes to the partnership. And I remember you never liked men doing anything for you.
Oh, you'll be surprised how things have changed. You'll be very, very surprised. So in the beginning, Chioma gets a very huge deal, a huge contract from a certain company in Dubai or so. I think it's Dubai. And they are partnering with her Arena Sense, which has their custom fragrance, Odogu and Achalugo. And Hassan, her ex, is actually the head of this whole thing. But they didn't know who it was. They didn't do any due diligence to find the CEO of the company or whatever his position is in the company. They couldn't find a picture online, whatever. Anyway, so he's back after ghosting Chioma when they were in school. So now he's back to get her back, if you know what I mean. And of course, she's like, no, I don't want that. And there's this scene where she says, stop it. I don't know what she's telling him to stop.
Stop it.
I don't know. What did he say over here? What I can't read the lips. Thank you. I don't know what he's saying over there. I love you. Don't know. And also the way she's looking at him over here. I mean, if you look at me like that, I'll melt. I'll melt like this. Okay, so the way she's looking at him over there. But hey, old love, there's always a little bit of it in there, you know. And so once again, because this movie is about money for love, he tries to get her back by buying her a G-Wagon.
Mercedes.
The G-Wagon.
And you are telling me that what this movie is not about that. It's not about money. It's about substance and intentional, man. You must be mad.
How would you feel if your own fiance showed up with a G-Wagon bought for her by her ex?
I would buy my fiance 5 G-Wagons before her ex even got a chance.
Yes, intentional man. You are trying to tell me that this movie is not about money for love. Get out. And the reason he gives her for ghosting her in the past is straight out of a mental facility, bro.
You funded everything. Felt like a charity case. I needed to grow, to become worthy of you, worthy of the love that you gave so freely.
Yeah, he left because he wanted to be worthy, so he ran away, leaving the girl in pain. And now that he has gotten money, he has come back, and she's supposed to just say, hey, welcome back. Well, maybe he knew her from the past and knows that the G-Wagon will impress her. And if she didn't have Odogu buying her the G-Wagons and building a house a day after meeting her, maybe it would have worked. Or maybe she was a witch in his life, because when he left her, he suddenly became rich. And over here is where she said that Chief Obiora is the one who is settling.
I mean, you don't have to settle.
Wow. I think I'm settling. Chief Obiora is the one settling.
I'll still never understand this line and why nobody's talking about this. Really? And the way she said it like it was some flex, like he's the one who is settling. Like if he said that about her, would it sound the same? Like if Chief Obiora said that I am settling for her, would it sound as good? No. But the way she said it's like Chief Obiora is the one who's settling. But it's all fine. Why? Because there's a lot of money involved. Chief Obiora is spending a lot of money. So he's definitely settling because she has less money, because that's the economy of love in this universe. So when I was watching this part, I was thinking that the X story would go somewhere to the end, but it doesn't. He leaves after this interaction, and that's all. He cancels the deal that he made with Arena Sense because he was making a deal to get her back, whatever. So he didn't get her back, so the deal cancels, and that's the end. I feel like that story could have gone a little bit further. They could have done a lot with that story. The X being the picture, love triangle, very common thing, love triangle in a rom-com, but they didn't do it because most of the scenes went to ad placements. If if most of the scenes were not there because of ad placements, they could have developed a story around the ex and Chief Ibra and the mom, and it could have, you know, it have done a lot. But ad placements, they have another ad placements for this sandals. I don't know the company, but it looks like an ad placement, but the scene is just there for this. Actually, no, I'm wrong, because in this scene, it looks like Odogu went and found Chioma's dad, and so, you know, when she saw him, she's surprised or angry. Looks like he's trying to bring Chioma and her dad back together so that she's not a bastard anymore, so that his mom would accept Chioma. That's how it makes sense to me. And then they have the wedding, and all I can say about the wedding is product placement again. Oh my god, in the wedding scene, it was crazy. The way the caterer comes and starts mentioning specific brands.
Why is Mama dog cooking oil?
Like, bro, if you want oil, ask for oil. Doesn't matter the name of the oil, but it matters over here because they have paid money. And then the entire kitchen just starts drinking Coca-Cola. Jesus Christ, it's too much. This is too much. Okay, people should be honest with Omoni Oboli. This is too much. Okay, there are more subtle ways to do the eye placements. This is too much in our face. Hey! At some point, I wouldn't have been shocked if the yam was branded. If the yam was branded by a particular company, I wouldn't have been shocked because, bro, and then they had Boy Spice perform his Achalugo song. I don't know. I'm not sure he made a song because of the movie. I mean, the movie was very influential, so it would make sense if he was inspired by that. But it was a great move by Maven Records to do that thing. All I can say now is I hope this is the end of this franchise. They are married. I hope this is the end. But I know this is not the end. There'll be a part 3 because they made so much money from this, and they'll make a lot of money from the YouTube video itself because there are 50 million views as I shoot this. It's been 2 weeks. So I know this is not the end. And if they do another one, I really hope that they tone down on the ad placements. Not that they shouldn't do it. And when I say tone down, listen, they can do 15 if they want to, but the ad placement should not drive the story, or else the story will suffer. And the people who come and say it's not that deep, you are all liars. Okay, you're not being honest with yourselves. It is that deep to you, and we'll come, if people keep allowing this kind of thing, they'll keep giving you this kind of stuff, and it's. Anyway, what am I? I'm just a guy talking, okay? You don't have to listen to me. I'm just saying my mind. But I'm very sure they do another one. The whole movie will be a constant ad. They'll shoot it in a mall, like I mentioned before. They'll probably shoot it in a mall where every single scene is in front of a shop when the logo is shown, and everything they wear will be branded. I'll not be shocked because this is unprecedented in the Nollywood YouTube world. So yes, it's going to happen. A lot of there have been brand placement. I remember in what did you call it? That movie, The Black Book. That's a Netflix film. They had Lexus. You can see that they're showing the Lexus logo because Lexus probably help pay for it. Which is a normal thing in movies, by the way. I was watching Veep, and a lot of all the pieces were there. You can just tell, but it's not in your face. You understand? It's not in your face. But that's another issue for another day. If you like the video, subscribe and like. Let's get to 100 likes. I've not said that before. Let's get to 100 likes. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.